So guys, I came across something in my Dasher Chronicles I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm picking up this, it's called Liquid IV. It's an electrolyte drink mix for somebody. So I was like, I wonder what this is. Very first ingredient is pure cane sugar. Second ingredient is dextrose. Yeah, that's not good. 11 grams of total added sugar. And again, this is somebody who probably thinks they're doing something good for themselves. Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dawn and this channel is Dawn Does Keto. This channel is all about my accountability and my personal journey on the ketogenic diet. I'm so happy that you're here with me. I just wanted to do a quick update this morning. I did not have to go to my mother and father-in-law's this morning because my sister-in-law and niece are in town and they stayed overnight last night. So they were there this morning. So that gave me a little bit of a break this morning. I did get a roast. A top round roast, like 5.5 pounds. It's a pretty big one. Put into the crock pot before I left the house today. And I'm going to use the Keto Chow beef soup base to make a gravy to go with that. That's my plan. I just got done getting my nails done. They're like a dark gray. I don't know if you can see that. I get them done again before Easter, so maybe I'll do something a little bit more spring-like for Easter, but I love gray. I do gray a lot. I am getting ready to break my fast. I have a fat coffee here, and it's just a basic fat coffee with 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 raw egg, and a scoop of collagen. That's all that's in there. And when I drink that coffee, I will take my electrolyte tablet and my K2D3 tablet. Again, if you are new here, those supplements have to be taken with a fat, so I don't usually take them until I break my fast in the afternoon. It is 12:05, so this is about the time I usually break my fast. The only thing else I brought with me to have today was a Keto Chow shake. This is a mixture of chocolate peanut butter and chocolate toffee, which I'm told tastes like a Butterfinger. This will be the first time I have it, so I'll let you guys know what I think. So I made those for Mike and I last night, so Mike would have it for lunch, and then he went to work today and he forgot it, so I have no idea if he is even eating lunch today. Not sure about that. So I am headed out to Dash for a few hours, and then of course Mike and I are going to have to get some walking in, because again, we're behind the 8 ball on that. Then we have to read and do our Dinner with Dawn segment and talk about our book. So I will keep you guys updated, and we'll see you guys tonight at dinner. Hey guys, spoiler alert. This is freaking delicious. Drop a comment down below if you have tried the combination of chocolate peanut butter and chocolate toffee. It's so good. I have to make this into a creamy. It's gonna happen. Finally, it's dinner time. It's about 7:40, so not too shabby.
I know it's pretty funny that we wanted to be done by 7 and now it's 7:40. It's not too shabby.
Yeah, we've not been doing well with eating on time. I told you guys earlier that I put a roast in the crock pot, and so it's just a roast, and then I used Keto Chow beef soup base for like the gravy part of it, and I just shredded
it looks so good.
the roast beef, and that's all I'm having. Mike is having some green beans as well, but I just didn't really want any veggies, so
Green beans.
this roast is a lot better than the last one that we got. Much more tender. It's shredded up really easy, so I am going to put a little bit of Redmond on mine though. So we got another 4 miles in today. It was really nice. It was like 55 degrees today.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that it was nice. 55 was nice. So one of the brokers I deal with at work lives down in Tennessee. It's southern Tennessee, real close to the border of Georgia. And their weather's been kind of topsy-turvy down there as well. So he emailed me today and he said, hey, what's the weather like up there? And I said, well, it's really nice out because the sun was out. It's really nice out. It's like 45. What? What do you mean it's really nice out, 45? He goes, that's nuts. I'm like, no.
That must have been early in the day though.
It was, but yeah. I said, when you live in this part of the country and it's usually cold and we've had a mild winter, I said, 45 with the sun out. He goes, you're not wearing shorts, are you? I said, no, it's not that warm, but trust me.
I mean, I had to open my sunroof in the car and crack the window because it was, with the sun out, it just gets really warm in the car.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sent out a final email to everyone who is attending the KetOH-IO meetup this Saturday.
I can't believe it. It's only a couple days away.
If you did not get an email from me, that means I don't have you on the list. So I only sent it out to the people on the list. So if you're planning on attending and you didn't get an email, please email me right away so I know the correct head count. Right now we have about 45 people that are going to be there.
That's a good turnout when I think about the fact that it was only supposed to be a small gathering.
Right.
It just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, I told Mike it was just going to be a small group of people for lunch, and then it just kept growing and growing.
So last year was kind of the same thing, and it was a smaller group. You had like 20, 25, something like that.
I think we ended up with 22 or 23 at the last one.
And so it was supposed to be just, a small gathering. And you had said, I like the gatherings and stuff, but thinking this year we're just going to do like, something a little more intimate, and a little, friends getting together for lunch. Well, friends are getting together for lunch. 45 of your best, closest keto friends. So
I can't wait to see all of you.
But you know what, though? But I'm going this time, so I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm just really excited about it.
There's still a lot of work to do. That's the one thing.
Well, there is. But we've developed a lot of friendships, over the last few months, especially at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. I feel like I know all these people now. I feel like they know me, and I'm just excited to see them, get to meet them in person and get to know them, and it's going to be fun. I really did not think I was going to be this excited. It's not quite like Christmas morning, but it's almost there.
So, babe, why don't you tell everybody how your wonderful wife made you a keto chow last night for you to take to work today, and then you snubbed my keto chow.
So I have this wonderful wife. I don't know if you guys have met her. She's amazing. She goes out of her way to make dinner for us every night. She hates to cook, but she does it anyway.
I do hate to cook.
If I ask her to make a creamy or make a keto shake or keto pudding or whatever it might be, she does it because she knows we both like it. She knows it's good for us.
And Mike pretends like he can't make them.
And I can't. The kitchen is just not my forte. Now, if I could make it on a grill, I could probably do it. So last night she made keto shakes for both of us. And this happens all the time. This is not an isolated incident. She'll make a keto shake and then I'll forget it in the refrigerator in the morning when I go to work and I leave it there. And then she gets up later and she sees it in the refrigerator. She immediately sends me a message and says, "You forgot your shake." To which I respond, "I know." And I did again today. I grabbed some stuff out of the refrigerator, believe it or not, right next to the shake to put in my lunch.
He had
and
a leftover
forgot.
He had a leftover quesadilla from dinner last night.
And I took that.
And it was right next to the shake. He grabbed that and forgot the shake. How? How do you do
And
that?
then I didn't even eat lunch. I didn't eat no lunch today because I was so busy. I didn't even eat.
So if you would have had your shake.
And if I'd had my shake, I could have sipped on it. Yes,
At
trust
least
me.
had that and gotten something in.
I know.
So my weigh-in video came out yesterday, but of course I did not include Mike's weigh-in on that. So you want to tell everyone how your week was?
Have I mentioned that this is amazing? Wow, I love roast. This version of it.
Are you avoiding the weight
I'm
question?
not, but my mouth is just like watering at the deliciousness of this roast. I love it.
This one was definitely better.
Yeah.
This was a top round that we got at Costco when we were shopping with James and Emily, and it just looked really good. It was a 5.49 pound roast, but it just looked wonderful, and I cooked the whole thing. I cooked all of it.
I didn't have a bad week last week. I'm still teetering. I mean, my weight is trending upwards. I'm trying to stop the bleeding or at least slow it down for now. And of course, as you have mentioned in your previous video about all the medications and just the junk that we're taking to try to, take care of the symptoms of these head colds and chest colds that we have.
Make it tolerable.
Right, because, nighttime is so tough. Sleeping has been a bear. And even talking a lot, which I've tried not to do recently, just makes everything tighten up. So I didn't have a bad week, and I ate off plan.
At Texas Day Brazil, for sure.
Well, yes, at Texas Day Brazil, I did have some items that would not be. But for the most part.
Did you go out any other days?
No, I don't think we did.
We didn't.
There was one night during the week both of us felt miserable. Was that last week or the week before?
That was last week, yeah.
So then I did. That was the night that Mary and I ate dinner together.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I did go off the rails. I don't say off the rails, but I did have
That was on Wednesday.
Yeah, it was Wednesday. It was an unplanned, un-keto, non-keto, not even keto flexible. This was just plain bad choice. But we were both feeling miserable. Dawn came home, went right to bed. She didn't want to eat nothing.
And I think you talked about this in our last video.
Yeah, and I had
on Thursday for the book discussion.
Yeah, I had the pizza. But anyway, all things said and done, and you're right, because the weigh-in was on Monday. Today's only Tuesday. So yeah, I was up 0.2 tenths of a pound.
That's
so
not bad.
I went from 154.8
6?
I don't, was it 6?
Yeah.
To 154.8, maybe?
I think something like that.
Something like that. And 155 is my threshold, so I mean, I'm still under it, but obviously I need to start trending back down, so.
You would have to string some good days together.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do that. I mean, I really am. I'm trying to get back to that. I'm hoping because we feel better that things will start to get a little easier again.
So with the 4 miles we got in today, we are at 29 miles so far. Just a little bit over that, actually. But so we have 21 more, so we're over halfway, but like I said, we are running out of days. Tomorrow night, we're not going to be home. We have a visit at my daughter who's getting married in December. We have a visit at the venue that they have booked. It's just like a tour, and so we won't be home tomorrow evening, and I don't know if we're going to get any time in because the venue's an hour away from here.
Yeah.
We can't go until my daughter gets off work, and it's
I
an
don't think
hour
that-
drive, then we have the tour, and then we have an hour drive home.
I don't think that
so-
leaves enough time between the time we get home and she gets home to do a walk of any kind, I don't think. I will say that going to the venue is going to be exciting for me because Dawn's already seen it. I have not seen it yet. So this is my first visit, and I'm really excited because obviously this is my baby. She's getting married, and
it's beautiful.
Yeah, like my daughter and like my wife. If you guys haven't seen our daughter, which she's made a couple like brief appearances in some videos, her and Dawn look exactly alike. I mean, they are twins. They look like they could be sisters, and that's because my wife looks so young.
Right.
But no, they're both beautiful, and so this is obviously, this wedding is just going to be, I've just come to the terms that it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things coming up that are involved with the wedding that are going to be time consuming. So tomorrow night is the venue tour. Thursday I have a hair appointment. Friday night we have dinner plans with friends. Saturday is the meetup, and then Sunday we are going to Pennsylvania to go dress shopping for me for the wedding. It's like something every single day.
I am not going dress shopping.
No.
I will be home. Who knows what I'll be doing? Maybe dashing, maybe
Working in the office?
I mean, maybe. We'll see.
There's a lot.
This was supposed to be a joint venture, and so far, but no, I don't know. We'll see what Sunday brings.
Yeah. So for anybody new here, we are reading this book, The Case Against Sugar by Gary Taubes. And
excellent book so far.
yeah, and we talk about it on Tuesdays and Thursdays while we have dinner, hence dinner with Dawn.
And Mike. Yeah. She always wants to forget that part.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that part.
Come on, guys, I need your back. More Mike.
You need their back?
You need my back, I need your back. It doesn't matter. We're back, brothers. I need you.
We just got done reading chapter 7, which is called Big Sugar. And this is just basically about how the sugar industry is trying to control everything.
It basically tells you how the government and special interest groups in the sugar industry and the food industry, how they came together to try to make it seem like it was a good idea.
Yeah. And like everybody needs sugar. So this was one of those chapters where I started reading it and I was highlighting everything and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to highlight the whole chapter. So it starts off talking about how the sugar industry in 1928 created the Sugar Institute. The mission of the Sugar Institute was in part to promote a new code of ethics that would get everyone in the industry working together. It would also promote directly to the public the joys and benefits of eating and drinking sugar. Because getting Americans to increase their sugar consumption was a good way of bringing supply and demand in line.
I mean, do we have to go any further? I mean, come on. This is nonsense.
Right. So it just talks about how over the next 3 years, the sugar industry, their main responsibility was just advertising. They were placing advertisements in newspapers and magazines. So this is funny because they talk about the different seasons of the year.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
Yeah. And it says in the winter and spring, the Sugar Institute advertisements pitch sugar as a means to build up the immune system and fight off colds.
Well, there you go.
We
screwed up.
Yeah, we haven't eaten enough sugar.
We didn't eat enough sugar, and now look at us. We don't feel well, our noses, our chest. Oh.
In the summer, sugar was pitched as an enhancement of the iced beverages that keep us cool. In the fall, sugar was the solution to mid-afternoon fatigue. So they found a way each season to spin it.
You get fatigued in the fall, but you don't get fatigued any other time of the year?
Right, just the fall.
So, hey, we got to figure out how to get people to drink more sugary drinks in the fall. Fatigue.
Yeah. But then in 1931, the Department of Justice sued the Sugar Institute for trying to solve the problem of cutthroat competition by using repressive methods to fix prices.
Now, before you go on, I find that interesting. They didn't sue them because they were giving us false advertising or they were trying to sell us something that in the end is not healthy for us, but because they were trying to fix prices and make money. Like they were.
And they won. They won, and in 1936, the Sugar Institute was dissolved.
I like that term, dissolved. Sugar.
But here's the funny thing, as you're reading this chapter, it keeps popping back up. They just keep giving it a different name.
Mm-hmm.
So the Sugar Institute becomes something else. Then it becomes something else. Then it becomes something else. They just keep changing the name of it.
They were relentless. They were not going to give up. There was no way they were going to give in that easy. So.
And then in 1942, the industry, and that's the sugar industry, felt like they were under attack. I can't imagine why. They launched a government pamphlet. It was released in preparation for rationing, getting ready for the war. Mm-hmm. And it asked the question, trying to get people ready for the fact that they weren't going to get as much sugar as they were used to getting.
Right.
How much sugar do you need? And the answer is equivocally none. Food experts say you really don't need any sugar at all.
I like how they just like switch sides.
Yeah.
Just because they know there's not going to be an abundance of sugar. So, let's play the good guy now.
Yeah. But then, they really started thinking about it and they're like, we're getting the people used to not having sugar. And then when the war is over, we're in trouble because they're not going to need it like they do now. So it says the sugar industry executives said they failed to educate the government officials on the true story of sugar. Now they had to undo the damage before habits that would be learned during the wartime years of sugar rationing carried over to post-war years.
Yeah, they were actually afraid that people were going to stop eating sugar.
Or get used to having their coffee with no sugar in it.
Right.
Oh, well, it's just as good black. I don't need the sugar. So yeah, they were panicked a little bit. So it says in 1943, the industry formed a new nonprofit organization called the Sugar Research Foundation, which is SRF. So here's a new name for it, doing basically the same thing.
And they were set up to set the record straight.
It was important, they said, to have the mind of the American public poisoned against an invaluable and almost indispensable food, sugar.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all. It's all lies.
So it says the focus of the SRF would be educating the public on the merits of sugar, while simultaneously funding research that would secure all known facts about sugar and its effects and need by the human body.
I mean, we think we need it. We feel like we need it, right? I mean, don't we? Once you get hooked on it, it's tough. We can both.
I mean, guys, it's no wonder that people are so brainwashed. After reading this chapter and all the money and hours and everything that they put into making us think that we need sugar and twisting. So.
Hey, how did we get in here? Weren't we just at the table?
My gimbal died in mid sentence, so I don't even know what we were talking about. So we had to charge that. So we just enjoyed eating the rest of our dinner.
Right.
And decided to bring the conversation into the living room where we used to talk when we talked about Dr. Barry's book.
Right.
Prior to Dinner with Dawn. So we're going to wrap up the conversation in here just because it's a little more comfortable and we are done eating. I am so stuffed.
Oh my gosh, we ate till we almost burst.
Yeah. But
so good.
Dinner was fabulous.
Yes.
But anyway, prior to the technical difficulties, we were just talking about all the money that the sugar industry was spending in research and advertising and everything to try to prove that we need sugar.
Yeah, I don't know.
They were just really trying to twist some research to make it seem like they really got into a big debate, argument, whatever, with the artificial sweetener companies.
Right, because they became a big thing. Dieting became a big thing, and all of a sudden now there was competition, and they just went off the rails.
So they were trying to find ways to prove that that stuff was bad for you and that sugar was good for you. So they were trying to do research with rats and different things to prove that, like, saccharin, an artificial sweetener, caused, was it bladder cancer?
Yeah, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was bladder cancer. But in the end, what it boiled down to was the large quantities of saccharin they were giving these rats could never be consumed by a human being.
Right.
Relative to us, we would have to drink like 800 cans of pop in one day or something like that.
Yeah, something goofy. And that's the way it is all the time in these studies. They always do that.
Right. I was going to say it's the same thing with the sucralose studies. There's a lot of people out there who are saying, that sucralose causes gut biome issues. And that's the big thing going back and forth now, is that sucralose is bad. But that study is very similar. It was done on rats, which again, we are not rats. They were given such large quantities of sucralose that we would have to drink, because there is sucralose in keto chow, and we've talked about this in the keto space, but one person would have to drink 97 keto chows in one day to consume even close to what they were given the rats.
Yeah.
So it's just not even the same thing. They're trying to prove a point, and so they fudge it, basically.
I mean, that's what it boils down to. It's a bunch of propaganda. They just use that information to try to boost their cause. And if anybody thinks about it, even for a minute, like you and I are doing right now, you can see that it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you want to know something else that was interesting about this last little section here with all the studies and who's paying for this and who's paying for that and how many hundreds of thousands of dollars going here and going there. And guess who had their fingers in on all that?
We talked about this in another video.
Good old Coca-Cola. Boy, am I finding out a lot about them. Holy guacamole.
Yeah, because obviously the soda companies were using the artificial sweeteners and developing a diet soda because the diet craze was going crazy. At this point, everyone's like, oh, I gotta lose weight. Obesity was getting out of control.
I think that was around the 1950s, if I'm not mistaken. That was when the craze really kicked into high gear.
Yeah.
But it was just like a big public relations battle going back and forth between the sugar industry and the artificial sweetener industry. They were trying to get rid of saccharin. They were trying to get rid of the other artificial sweetener, which was...
Yeah, there were two big ones. It was saccharin and...
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, the other big one at the time was cyclamate.
And I don't really ever remember hearing about that.
No, I think saccharin, was more popular at the time.
And here's something else. So as we kind of thumb through this, and again, there's a lot of information here, but one of the big things that came out of this was the whole tooth decay thing. The big thing against sugar was tooth decay. And that went on forever. And I'm going to tell you, I remember growing up as a kid, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
No sweets for you because it's bad for your teeth. I had a next door neighbor when I was real young. They were from Germany, right from Germany. They escaped Nazi Germany and they came to America, and I was probably like 7 years old, and it was a family. It was a mother and a son and a daughter. And the mother was probably close to 100 years old, because they all lived to be close to, if not 100 years old. She was blind. She spoke strict German, like there was no English at all. She never saw me. She never knew who I was by sight, but she did by just my name and hearing and me talk. I would go over and visit them. I was a little kid. I'd go over and visit, and they'd give me some ginger ale, but it had sugar, and they would always have a little dish of candy. And then one day the dish of candy was gone, and the mom, the elderly, she again in her 90s to 100, spoke in German to the son. His name was Ben, and he was the guy that I would go over and visit. He was retired and just super guy. But anyway, he would tell me, nope, we had to get rid of the candy dish because mom says it's bad for your teeth. So I wasn't allowed to have it.
It says here, the industry would argue the only wise counsel dentists could give and should give was to recommend prompt brushing after every meal or a simple water rinse at the earliest possible moment after taking food of any kind. So you're saying they were saying it was not the sugar.
Well, that was, yeah.
It was just eating in general, and that you needed to brush after you ate. So after taking food of any kind, that will help materially in keeping down decay. So then in 1951, the now called the American Sugar Refining Company, so
right.
we have changed the name again.
AKA.
Yeah. They launched an all-out advertising campaign that stressed how important it was for children in particular, to benefit from the energy contained in pure sugar.
By the way, 900 million messages. Think about that. Magazines, newspapers.
This is the advertising campaign. And it's a
mailing
wonder why
supplements.
it's been so hard to get people to change their thought process on this. I started saying this in there before we had to move, that they've spent so much money, so many advertisements, so many magazine articles. It's going to be really hard to get people to see it any other way.
Oh, yeah. And it's not like they just did it for like a week. They've done it for decades.
It says the Sugar Association budgeted $1.8 million for a 3-year advertising blitz and educational campaign.
Of course, it's always educational. The only thing educational about that is that they were trying to save their behinds, is all that was about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we're coming up to the next thing, and this is the best.
So now, because everyone is dieting, obesity is starting to rise. So sugar is like, okay, how are we going to spin this one? And they basically spin it so that they make you think you need sugar so that you will eat less.
You need sugar to eat less.
Yes, that is what they say. So this idea, it suggests that foods that have the ability to raise blood sugar quickly or to be metabolized quickly, as sugar did and was, would be particularly effective at staving off hunger and thus overeating.
Now, wait a minute. We're back in the 1950s, and I'm pretty sure if you turn the TV on any given day in the 21st century, you're going to see a commercial about Snickers and how it satisfies.
Yeah.
Satisfies your hunger when you're grumpy. Remember those commercials?
Yeah.
And they're going right back to this kind of propaganda from 50 plus years ago.
And if you had a snack or something with sugar, your body would metabolize it faster, and then when you went to eat your meal, you wouldn't be as hungry. You would eat less.
Right. That's a good idea. We should have done that before dinner. We should have had a Snicker
We
bar.
should have had some sugar.
Yeah.
Before we ate our big bowl of meat. Yeah, so people would eat far fewer calories is what the sugar industry was saying. So eating sugar between meals takes the edge off your hunger and helps to overcome one of the chief causes of overweight.
Overeating.
So, it was just everything that was brought up that was negative about sugar, they found a way to spin it and make it a positive thing.
Yep. And that's what their job was. That's why they were created.
And brainwash the American people, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, guys. That's the basic gist of the chapter, is just how big sugar and money can...
Hence the reason for the title of the chapter, Big Sugar.
Yeah.
Because this is where they really, really, really stepped up their game, because now it wasn't just about making it available.
Money can get you the results you want, no matter how you want it to play out.
And they did, too, and they still do.
That was it for today. Sorry about the little snafu there with our...
So much more comfortable sitting in here. It really is. I feel like I can talk.
We could talk
more.
for hours.
Right, because I'm comfortable.
Thanks so much for joining us, guys, and we hope you all have a great evening. Actually, it'll be a good day, because by the time they see it...
by the time they see it. Yeah,
maybe. Depends on when you watch this video. Either way, we hope you guys enjoy your day. Keep moving. Let us know how you're doing. I think Johnny G has...
good old Johnny G.
I think he's going to break 100 miles.
Oh, man. Go for it, Johnny, because we probably aren't going to hit close.
He probably hates us calling him Johnny.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Let us know, John. Do you absolutely hate Johnny G? Alan is another one who's just been walking like crazy, getting tons of miles in. We're super proud of you guys. We're sorry that we're behind, but we are doing our best to at least hit our personal goals for the month of March. And we love hearing all of your updates, so continue to leave those in the comments down below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification. That way when our next video comes out, you will be alerted. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.